All right, I'm going to show you how to help your child navigate Google Classroom, or how you can navigate Google Classroom so that you can have a better idea of what's going on. My goal is to make sure that students have a very clear idea of where to find assignments, how to do assignments, and that you're kept current with what's due and what hasn't been passed in or has been passed in. I don't want any surprises. Nobody likes that. So, it takes a little bit of time on your part as well just to go in here and check on things. There's no real easy way for me to provide both an update to you and an update to your child without taking more time. So the easiest and most efficient way is for you to just check on your Google Classroom, your child's Google Classroom, what's going on. That's, for everybody, because otherwise I'm doing it for you and I'm spending that time looking for it or sending it to you or taking a screenshot of it for you, when really you can just hop right on and do that. So I'm going to show you how. So once you've signed on to Google, we still have these options down here, but Google Classroom isn't provided across the bottom of the screen for those particular apps. So you need to come up to the Google app symbol here, click it open, and then you can find Classroom very easily. Now your child's already signed on to their Chromebook, so it's going to automatically take them right to their Google Classroom page where they can choose which Google Classroom they need to open. All right, now you can see that on my son's, his last year's or his third grade teacher's page is still here. It's still up and running. I don't know if that's because she didn't archive it. I'm not sure. But it's fine. It doesn't impact anything. Just make sure that when your child is accessing Google Classroom, that they're getting onto mine, the correct one. Okay? And so this is what it looks like. We call this the stream. And you can see that you're highlighted under that word stream. And that just means this is where most of your announcements are going to show up. Sometimes I might have a message for students that they need to read that day. And right here you can see my first message to everyone was welcome to fourth grade, and I posted that September 1st. Now on my Google Classroom, it may have been different last year, but on my Google Classroom, students aren't going to have the ability to just post things. And the reason that I'm blocking that is because I really want this stream or this front page to be very crisp, clean. I don't want it full of distraction. I don't want kids having to scroll through all kinds of different messages and things like that to kind of come to news that's important to them. So I just want to keep it visually streamlined. So there's not going to be a ton of extra communication on this page that we don't need. And I know that might take away a little bit of fun, but I think in the long run it's better that we do it that way. And so you can scroll down. There's not much on here yet. That will change. And where your child is going to be accessing their assignments is going to be underneath this Classwork tab. Now, I'm in my Classwork tab, and I know that because the underline is underneath that on my menu up here. There's nothing here yet. There will be. Your child will have their weekly work separated by week. So it will appear at the top, week 1, week 2, week 3. I like it to go in that order so that you know exactly, where to find things. And underneath that week 1 topic tab that will appear here will be the assignments. They'll be able to click on those, open those descriptions, read them, and then do whatever they need to do. Obviously, there goes without saying, I think, a lot of instruction that I need to do with kids or just to review with them about accessing whatever it is they need to access to do their assignment, how they're passing it in, when they know that it's been passed in. There's all kinds of stuff that goes with this. And they may not need a ton of review on this if they did use Google Classroom with their third grade teacher, but if they didn't, I think it's worth the time spent. So we will go over how to turn in classwork, how to find it, all of that, okay? The People tab is just where he can see, his teachers. Mrs. Gould, this is my name right here, and he could email me. It's off screen a little bit. Sorry about that. There's a little email symbol. He could email me directly if he needed to. Mrs. Gould will appear down here or up here as well. She'll be considered a co-teacher. And that's just so she, has some idea of what's going on in our classrooms and can jump in and say hi, or, if I happen to be at a workshop or out sick someday or whatever, she has access to this and can make sure that things stay up and running. Okay, so we don't have on this particular at this particular moment, we don't have any grades for your child to access, but that's certainly something that you can access a little bit later. And I will show students how to do that, and I'll show you how to do that so that you have some idea of what's going on. I'm not sure how I'm going to be using, if you're looking over here where I've opened up, I'll show you what I did. I opened up this menu bar. I'm not sure how I'm going to use the calendar option or if I'm going to use the calendar option yet, so we'll just skip over that. Classes, he's already in his cohort B class, so that's fine. The to-do list could become helpful because it will list assignments that are not completed. And let's see what else he would need to have access to. I think that's really about it for now. But I just wanted to make sure that you had some idea of how this worked and what to expect. When we start having some grades that are going to be going on this, then I will be sure to do a quick overview with you about how you can see what's going on with the grading. And also, I haven't really decided if I'm going to have, this has a setting that I can open that sends you, the parent, an email that updates you about what your child is doing, what's missing for any work, if any. And the reason that I'm kind of on the fence about that is it may not share the whole picture with you. It may be just more stressful and more emails for you to see that than not. And the other thing is I'm not sure if on my stream at this point that I would need to allow the stream to show all of my updates and assignments, which would really pile on top of each other after a while. So I don't know. I feel like it would be just as easy for me to send you a quick email and say, hey, I'm missing a few things, than to do that. So we'll see. But this is basically Google Classroom in a nutshell. This is what your child's going to see. It'll be either cohort B or cohort A, obviously. And this is where there'll be general announcements. The Classwork tab is where they're going to go eventually to see all their classwork and their assignments. And that is the majority of what you should probably be aware of just for now. And I will update this video, or create a new video, I should say, when we're ready to explore or do more things on Google Classroom.